Hello, my most amazing artists. How are you today? I hope that you said you are ready to create, because I am ready to dive right into our lesson today. This week, first graders, you have been learning about Baroque art. Now, Baroque art is all about being dreamy and using your imagination. And that's exactly what we are going to do today as we create our very imaginative landscape. Now, for today's art piece, you're gonna need something to draw with, whether that's a pencil, a marker, or a dark crayon to do outlines with. And then you're going to need something to color it in with. This week, I'm gonna be using crayons and colored pencils. I'm using crayons because crayons have this, they're made out of wax, and so when you watercolor over them, it doesn't make them bleed. The crayons actually still shine through, which is something that is really cool. So if you don't have crayons and watercolors, that's okay. You can just do this like kind of how we did last week, where you created your own outlines and then you used it as a coloring book to kind of color it in. So as long as you have some sort of colors and something to outline with, you are fine. To start today, we are going to do some shadows that are going to be in our art piece. So you're gonna need some sort of dark color. I'm just gonna use a dark blue from my crayon box. If you're using crayons and watercolors like me, you can use the same colors as me, or you don't have to. So we're creating, like I said, this dreamy little scene here. It's going to be a landscape, which means that it is something that is going on outside. And we're gonna start by doing the silhouettes or the shadows of a palm tree. So to start, we are just going to do, oops, I pressed way too hard on that already. We are going to do a straight line. Well, I guess it's a straight line at a diagonal slant. We're gonna do 2 on the left side of our paper. Also, if you haven't noticed, my paper is tall ways. It's up and down. And that's how you want your paper to be too. Tall ways, just like this. And then we're gonna do 1 stripe. 1 diagonal straight line, like this. And those are the trunks of our palm trees. Like I said, you can do this in any color you want. You just wanna make sure that it's a dark color because shadows are dark. Also, remember that if I'm ever moving too quickly or things are going too fast, all you need to do is pause the video or rewind it and catch up to where we're at. So to do our little palm trees, I'm gonna do upside, I guess that's a regular size triangle. I'm just gonna do triangles that all go into each other like that. Triangles that all meet in the middle. So you're just doing this with any dark color you have. Could be with a crayon, could be with a marker, a colored pencil. It's up to you. And we're gonna repeat this. We're just doing our triangle, 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 triangles. Kind of look like flowers. But remember, this is a dreamy landscape scene, so it doesn't have to look exactly realistic. We're using our imagination for this one. We're gonna be picking colors that are very surreal, which means not real, and things that would come out of our imagination. So we can have our sky be whatever color we want, our ocean water that we're gonna draw be whatever color we want, and it's entirely up to us. The next thing that we're gonna do is draw the horizon line, which is the same line of where like the ocean is. So you could use that same dark color. I think I have a different blue color in here, I think. Oh no, it's just the same one. Okay, I'm gonna continue to use the blue color, but I'm gonna use this new one that's not broken. And what I'm gonna do is it's gonna start behind this palm tree. So we're gonna draw a line that goes right behind our palm tree. Oh, the blue is a little bit different. It's a tiny bit different. You probably can't tell on my video camera though. And we're gonna draw a little mountain. So we are gonna do a little triangle like that, up like that, a little mountain that comes down into the ocean. Then we're gonna do a straight line across that represents our ocean. And then where our ocean ends, there's gonna be a little island in the front. So we're gonna draw a curved line like this to represent where our little island or our beach is. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add kind of this like dreamy color that's coming out of our mountain, almost like something's coming out of a volcano. It's like a dreamy, different color air. I'm gonna do mine in pink because pink is my favorite color, but you can do whatever color you want. And what we're gonna do, first we're gonna draw one line, and we're just gonna be swirling back and forth. And then when it comes to the palm tree, we're just gonna go behind the palm tree and have it fill up the whole sky. So we have our one swirly line we've done. Then we're gonna come back around to this swirly line and we're gonna add in our own shape, kind of another swirly line. So you can see the smoke is what's inside here. And we're gonna have that go behind this palm tree too, just like that. Now you don't have to do yours in pink. You could do yours whatever color you wanted. Now, this part, if you are using crayons and markers, is really, really magical and cool, and something that I want you to pay close attention to because it's kind of hard because I'm using a white crayon. Now you may be thinking, Miss G, if you use a white crayon on white paper, you're never gonna be able to see it. But because these are made out of wax, when you paint over them with the watercolors, the white crayon suddenly appears, just like magic. It's so cool. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna add some details in white crayon that's gonna pop out. Now don't worry if you don't have watercolors and you're not using crayons, that's okay. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna leave that spot blank for when you color in around it so these white details pop out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a big circle right under there to represent our moon, right underneath our little cloud of smoke. And I'm gonna color it in white. Now you're gonna have to look extra careful and extra hard to see where this white color is going because it kind of can disappear right into your white piece of paper. Then what I'm gonna do is add some stars. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna draw them on this scratch sheet of paper I have right here. I'm just gonna draw my stars like an X with another X, or kind of like a T and then an X. But I'm gonna draw those in white all over the skyline of my piece of paper. So when it pops, when we paint it with our watercolors, it'll pop out. But like I said, if you don't have watercolors, you can just outline these and leave it blank. So that means color around it when you are adding in your colors. So I'm just adding those stars. You can add as many or as little as you want. And like I said, it will be very magical when they pop out. Very dreamy. So I'm adding those stars. Awesome. The last place I'm gonna add white is it's gonna be a highlight on the ocean. So when the ocean, the moon light reflects against the ocean, it kind of casts this bright white light. So I'm just gonna do kind of like a zigzag line that swirls on there. A couple little lines. So I'll demonstrate what it looked like on here so you can see it. So if this is our ocean, I drew the white light kind of like this with my white crayon, little couple lines. So you can just see the white light against the ocean. So right here with white, I drew that with the blue right here to show you what it looks like. But you're doing this in white. And again, you can leave that part blank if you are not using crayons and watercolors, and then you can just color around it. So now we've created kind of the template of what our art piece is gonna look like, and now we're just gonna color it in. Now this is your masterpiece. You don't have to pick the colors that I use, and you can color it in with markers or crayons or colored pencils or whatever you have. But I'm going to be using watercolors, and I'm gonna start with filling in this little area of smoke. Remember, it's magical. It's not, doesn't have to be colors that are real, that a real sky would be, or that you'd really find in nature. I'm using pink because that's my favorite color. You can use whatever your favorite color is, or whatever color you think will look nice. And we're about to go over a star here. Oh, look at that. See how it just magically doesn't turn pink? Because that crayon is, because it's wax, it's resisting the color. Pretty cool if you ask me. So we're all just painting in this little area, this little haze, smoke, magical sky color. We don't even know exactly what this is. It's just something out of our imagination. And once your paint dries, you can see my paper is a little bit wet. It's kind of hard to see. Once it dries, it will get even prettier and brighter around those star colors. Now it's time to paint the sky. I think I'm gonna choose, it's kind of a realistic color. The color, it's like a little bit blue, a little bit purple. The color is called periwinkle. You guys say periwinkle, it's kind of a silly color. And we're gonna paint the sky area, which is everything up until our mountain and our horizon line. And if you look and you go over your moon, the really cool thing is that it will stay white, just like our stars. I really like this technique. I think it's super cool. We're just painting in our sky background. I'm using my periwinkle color. You could use any color. You could use orange. You could use green. You could use regular blue. You could use purple. You could use pink. It's totally up to you. You don't have to copy mine. It's coming out of your imagination. And I just love the way our crayons are brightly showing through. It's so cool. Like I said, if the white doesn't show up entirely at first, once your watercolors dry, the white will really pop from the crayon. And if you're doing this without these materials and you're just coloring it in, make sure you're leaving space for, like where this moon is, you just wouldn't color it in at all. You just go around it like a circle. So you could leave white, just the white of the paper showing through. Almost done with the sky. Now, if I'm moving too quickly for you, all you need to do is pause the video so you can catch up with us. You can rewind it if you miss instructions so you know what you need to do. All right, so we have the top half of our dreamy sky scene. Next, I'm going to paint those mountains. I'm going to just do them a dark color because I think a dark color will look best with our scene. But again, if you want your mountains to be green or red or purple, they can be that too. So I'm just gonna connect this imaginary straight line right here to where our ocean is so I know where I'm painting. And I'm just using a gray color to paint in these mountains. Like I said, I just want them to be dark and shadowy. Now this part is the ocean. Remember, we're not painting this little curved line because that is our little beach area. Now I'm gonna have my ocean, I want it to be blue and purple. So I'm gonna pick the first color I want, which is gonna be a dark blue, and I'm gonna lay that down, and then I'm gonna show you how to blend two watercolor colors together. Now, if you're using other materials, you can have your colors blend into each other as well. Just by, if you're using regular markers, you can actually use just water in a paintbrush, and they're water soluble, so they'll blend, which means that water will move the color. You could do that. Or with crayons, you could just layer the colors on each other, and it will kind of create that blend. But I'm gonna show you how to do this with watercolor. So I'm gonna lay down our color, lay down our ocean color. You can see where our little highlight is from our moon is popping through, which is pretty cool. I'm laying down our blue color. And then I'm gonna have it blend into this dark, deep purple color. So I'm not coloring in, oops, I went a little over the line there, that's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. I'm having this color meet our blue color. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna clean off our paintbrush entirely and just get it filled with just water. And I'm gonna use my paintbrush in kind of a circly motion to blend those colors together. So I'm just using water to blend those colors. So all you need is just water. Don't press too hard though, or you will start to rip your paper. And I'm gonna kind of use, actually I have a light purple. I'm gonna use a light purple at the bottom that blends into that dark purple. But you can use whatever colors you want. Again, it's your masterpiece, your work of art. Now I have this beautiful purpley blue ocean. I love the way this is turning out so far. It looks so pretty. I can't wait to see what yours looks like. So next we have this little island. I'm gonna do mine orange and yellow. I'm gonna blend colors again. You don't have to, you could just pick one color. I just think it looks cool when you do that. So I'm gonna take my orange and I'm gonna lay it down around the edge, because that's where it would be. It would be a little bit darker around the edges because of the way the light hits it. So that's why I'm doing orange is a darker color and yellow is a lighter color. So I'm gonna have the orange blend into the yellow, like I said. I'm gonna lay down my yellow color. And I'm just gonna use, I don't even need to clean my brush. I'm just gonna use those circle motions to blend, try to blend that orange with the yellow as best I can. Just moving my paintbrush in circles. Just like that. And there we go. That is our dreamy landscape. We created a little island beach with kind of this, maybe it's volcano smoke, maybe the sky is just looking magical and mystical. There are so many different directions that you could take this depending on what colors you chose to use. I had so much fun doing this with you guys. I hope that you guys had fun too. I am really looking forward to seeing what your finished product looks like. If you want to email it to me, I'd love to see it at qgutierrez@hawkingcharter.org. Or you can always send it to me on our Instagram page, which is just Hawking Visual Arts. I can't wait to see you all in our next visual arts lesson. Until then, I hope you have a great rest of your day.